Perek Ezu Neshech Daf Samach Dalid, sponsored the Refuah Shlema for Yaakov ben Esther. We begin with a statement of Rav Nachman. Klola de Ribsa kol agar natar lei osur. This is a general rule concerning interest. Any benefit accrued by waiting for one's money or merchandise is prohibited. Meaning, number one, a buyer advanced money to a seller for a later delivery of merchandise, and in the interim, their price increased, benefiting the buyer. Number two, a seller reduces the price for a buyer who advances payment. For example, wax cakes in the market are 4 cakes for $1. A wax merchant offers a buyer 5 for $1 for advancing him the payment of his order. We already learned this is permitted b'yeshlo if he has it in stock, even if it is unavailable now. Rav Nachman teaches that even if the seller has outstanding orders with suppliers, since he is not in possession of the wax, the transaction is prohibited. Number 3, a seller who extends credit charges more for merchandise. The next law in the Gemara concerns a borrower who found more money than he borrowed in the loan. Does he return it or not? Number 1, in Talmudic times, people counted either in numbers divisible by 5 or 10. If the difference was 5 or 10 coins, the borrower must assume it was a mistaken calculation. Any number not divisible by 5 or 10, he can assume it was a gift. Number 2, if the lender was not a generous person, he can assume the lender owed him money and was embarrassed to return it directly. Even if he never dealt with this person before, he can assume another debtor of the borrower requested this lender to return it for him. The Gemara discusses now a forward contract of gourds. Gardener offers a buyer gourds double the size of what he has now for the same price if he advances him the money until they grow fully. Number 1, the first opinion of Rav is that this is not considered yeshlo, even though they will grow to an agreed size. This is similar to a farmer who offers to supply a customer a specified amount of milk, wool, or honey for a reduced price for an advance payment as soon as he has these goods. Since there is no risk for the buyer, it is prohibited because right now he does not have the milk, wool, or honey. However, an unspecified amount of milk, shearing, or honey for an advance payment is permitted. Even though the buyer may receive more than the amount paid, the Gemara permits this because it is karav lehesed kamo lischar, meaning the buyer may lose if it is worth less than what he paid. Number 2, the second opinion of the Gemara is the gourds are permitted. They are different than the other products because they grow from what existed at the time of the agreement, whereas the milk, wool, and honey present at the time of the agreement are not the same products supplied at the time of delivery. The next law of the Gemara concerns a purchase of a barrel of wine. A buyer holds that as long as a buyer accepts a decrease in value as his loss, even if he does not accept as his loss the wine turning to vinegar, it is karav l'schar u'l'hefsed. Now we come to a new Mishnah. A lender may not live in his borrower's courtyard for free or even for a reduced rental fee. According to Rav Nachman, the law of the Mishnah applies even if it is a chatzah, the lo kaimid la'agra v'gavra lo avid l'megar, a courtyard that the borrower does not rent and one the lender does not need, that for a non-lender borrower association, it is zez nenev zeloi chaser and permitted for the squatter to live there without paying. This case is prohibited because it is mechsek ribbis, it has the appearance of ribbis. According to the first version, the prohibition applies even where the borrower did not offer it as part of the deal. According to the second version, mechsek ribbis is prohibited only when offered by the borrower. Mechsek ribbis applies as well to using a slave of a debtor, even though Rav Nachman holds one can use another slave when he is not working for the master and not pay because the master prefers he should remain busy and not become lazy. In this case, it is prohibited because of Mersei Kiribis.